Hello and welcome to, well, it's the new look. 5 topics of life. The Sparty man.
G'day.
And Richie boy, of course. New look this year. We're going to put it on a YouTube channel, so make sure you check out the YouTube channel or catch both of us on social media. Whole new look, big fella.
Yes, mate.
Of course, I'm wearing the Beanies for Brain Cancer, Mark Hughes Foundation, or Kari Bickmore, as long as we find a cure. We're going to do 2 topics of current affairs.
Yes, things that matter.
Things that matter
for the people.
For the people.
Yes.
And we'll have an opinion on those.
Yes.
Then we'll do 2 of our lunatic topics.
Yes.
And then we'll finish, of course, with the greatest show on earth,
Yes.
Seinfeld. And I've got a question about Seinfeld.
Yes.
We'll talk about Kim Jong-un. We'll talk about politics. We'll give you some parenting advice.
Yes.
We'll also talk about everything. Salad dodgers. Here's a topic I want to talk about.
Talk about that. It's a long year. It's a long year, and we need any feedback. Our social network, Twitter, @Richie Please.
I tell you what, you sound a lot better on radio.
Yeah, I do. At Sparty Talkback. We're happy to take any suggestions that you want us to do. We're looking at doing this once a week, so let's get into it, Richie.
Can I sound a bit more pumped up?
Oh, I am. I'm just sort of.
Right, the first topic. This is the one I love.
Let's do it.
I've seen you on social media. You've had plenty to say.
Yeah.
What about Barnby Joyce and his beautiful new baby and partner?
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Now, we've got daughters, and we're still, I think, you in your first marriage? Yeah, you're still in your first marriage. I'm still in my first marriage. And what Barnaby's done is...
Actually, celebrate is not the right word, but I had my anniversary the other day.
Yeah, we saw the photos. Yeah, how were the chops?
Oh, outstanding.
Anyway, so he's decided, he's had a bit of a fling with this lovely lady. And
Vicky Campion's her name.
Vicky, yeah, and as a result, there's a child, and that's great. You know, I hope they're happy.
But what I want to talk about is, he got $150,000 to do an interview.
Yes. Yes.
Vicky and himself.
Yes.
The ratings were horrendous. The bloke who did the interview, Alex Cullen, champion bloke.
Yeah, good fella. I never met him, but if you say he's a good bloke, I'm with you. Yeah.
And just lost his father to brain cancer.
Yeah, well,
champion bloke.
Yep.
But no one watched it. Then he chases paparazzi down the road coming out of church and tries to make a big deal of it.
Yeah.
Yet, hang on. He got 150, isn't that the pot?
Well, if you get 150, you're sort of taking on an acceptance that you're going to be hounded by the people who are essentially funded 150.
You take that on when you become a politician.
So, well, politician first, and he's having a rest from that, I think. He's not very good at that, so he probably should have a long rest. He's getting 150, which is going to go into a little account for the little child.
Until you have a bad day.
Until you, yeah. He'd know the pin. He'd know the pin. That's exactly right. And then
I threatened that. I opened a couple of bank accounts for my 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Not going real good at the moment.
The uni fund. How many uni funds have been created and then just empty when they're 9? Anyway, and then in the instance, the 4 original daughters are just left. Look, he's handled it badly. I think that.
I feel for his wife and his daughter's first marriage.
Yep.
I feel for the baby once the baby sees the interview.
Yep.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Like Tony Abbott, I'm over Barnaby Joyce.
Yeah, no, so am I. And I can't believe we've started our new look with about politics. But anyway, that's cool. We did it.
Now this second topic, if you missed this on the news, this is something special. I'm going to nickname the heading. Yeah. From Russia with Love.
Yeah, I'm just
now give our viewers and listeners a rundown what it's about. From Russia with Love.
Okay, so obviously at the moment the World Cup of Soccer is football is on in Russia. Now, and obviously with that you get an influx of the people coming to visit, the tourists. And I just want to draw your attention, I found this in the news, and it's one of the members of parliament there, I can't even pronounce his last name, but it starts with D. And he's encouraging the local young ladies to be forthcoming, for want of a better expression, with the tourists, and to actually create relationships and therefore children. And I quote, "Many years from now, these children will remember that their parents' love story began during the World Cup in Russia in 2018. Now that's romantic.
Well, there's a few blokes that they've been disrespectful and struggle to have a relationship. This might be an opportunity for them to jump on the plane and get over to Russia.
I dropped 4 of them off this morning. Fabian and Griff. And
how do you think that'd be handled if an Australian politician said that?
Oh, not very well. You imagine you come to Australia, have relations with our locals.
Would Israel Folau approve of that, as long as they're heterosexual?
Oh yeah, straight up. They'd be all right. I mean, we say yes. We voted yes. I don't know. Good point. We voted yes. No, he'd say no. Yeah, so anyway, get over to Russia, all you single blokes. Put on the
That's outstanding.
Put on the Brute 33.
Well, without being disrespectful, and I don't know this from experience, but the male that are around the world in different countries where there's what they like to describe women of the night.
Yes.
There's a lot of Russian ladies that participate in that occupation.
Well, correct, and just from Rocky IV. Remember Ivan Drago's manager? I forget her name. Bridget Nielsen's her name in real life, but I can't remember her name. She's gorgeous. And if that's indicative of the local ladies, I'll be dropping people.
So you're now judging ladies just on their looks?
Yeah. That's what I just did then.
Just then?
Just then I did. It's not to suggest that's what I do all the time.
Oh, right, yes.
You were alluding to how beautiful their women were, I think.
I didn't say that at all.
What were you saying then?
I just said they participated in that occupation, the old time-aging occupation of the ladies of the night. I never said they were good looking.
Oh, right. Well, you probably should have. Thanks for that.
I tell you to behave.
I'm going to call you Barnaby. Where's that bus you just threw me under?
Right, now, another topic I want to talk about, which is a more humorous topic.
Yeah.
I was at the hospital the other day. I was over at Royal North Shore. And I was just standing there with my wife, about to get in the lift. We hit the button to wait for the lift.
Yep.
And two ladies and a young boy standing there. And my wife and I just having a coffee.
Yep.
And they just started to talk to us.
Yeah, I love it. Well,
line talkers.
I call them line talkers. And line talkers are what make, I think it sets Australia apart from others. Where else can you go, whether you're at the groceries, whether you're waiting for a lift, where else? At the movie line?
But what happens if you don't want to talk?
Well, you don't. But I've never knocked back a line talk. If somebody wants to talk to me and they just want to have a chat, most of the time it's, how do you put up with that bloke? That's a lot of it. And why do you go over and mow his lawns and stuff?
Or when the lift opens, they say, "Are you going to the lift?" No. I often just stand there and just wait.
Just wait for it. But that actually is your good clincher, because if you're waiting there, you've started a line talk and you don't like where this is going, you just let them go. And you wait and get the next lift. Yeah.
What if you're in a rush?
Well, you go first and
Not
drop
a rush.
the shoulder like you normally would and just say, see.
Line talk. But line talkers are everywhere. The grocery centres, like...
Yeah, it is. And it can be, like the grocery is probably your hardest one. Because if you're in a line of a trolley of...
That's why people are doing self-checkouts.
You reckon?
I'm not even going to get on that topic.
Yeah, no.
I was behind a lady 3 weeks ago that had $400 worth and went through the self-checkout.
Yeah, but did she check the docket?
I saw her there when we walked in.
Yes.
And we had a trolley this full and we were coming through, and she was there, still there.
Well, that's all right. But the problem with this is taking jobs. I mean, we're getting serious again. But if you're going to start a line talk, if you're in a line for groceries and you've got a trolley full and the person behind you's got a trolley full, man, you want to make sure that person, that's a 12, 13 minute commitment. And I don't know.
So that's the one thing with the lift.
Yeah,
it's just a quick.
No, that's right. It's a quick, and that's okay. You just go, yeah, how are you? I've seen you on TV. Yeah, you would have seen me on TV. No, you usually say, have you seen me on TV? Artist formerly known as, and that's okay. But it's so what we're getting at is there's degrees of line talking. That's what we need to come back to. So if you're in a lift, yeah, sure, because what highest building? What's that? 40 levels. So that's okay. That's eight.
Not if my man Salim Mahaji had got in at Auburn Council.
Hasn't he been?
We were going to have some serious sky rises over in Auburn.
Auburn, you just wouldn't have been. I heard you were going to build over Parramatta Road, like just all the way.
I heard he was just going to stop a railway line.
Yes.
Build on the railway line. You had to get out of the train on one side, walk through his shopping centre.
But do you have to pay to walk through the shopping centre?
Yeah, of course. You've got to, and then get back on another train the other side.
Yeah, no, I heard that too. Yeah,
outstanding.
Yeah, and you know,
he's now become a wedding planner. So that's.
I don't think what's he going to be planning? Last I heard, he's going to be planning a few jails.
Barry with Bob in jail.
Inside, yeah.
Last topic. Yep. Oh, before we get on to the Seinfeld, the fifth, because it's 5 topics.
5, yeah.
This is from self-experience. Now, I used to be one of these, and I've turned in that way. That when I catch a plane now, I sit the window. I just love to sit in the window.
You picked as an aisle man.
I used to be. I've changed, but armrest hoggers, they're everywhere.
Well, yeah, it's not just planes, is it? It's movie cinemas.
Oh, movie cinema.
What is the etiquette? Like, when you eat dinner, what do you work to the left, don't you? Like your bread is the plate on the left.
Plate on the left.
So if you just apply that means yours is the one on the left in a movie cinema. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I've never thought about that etiquette.
Yeah. So there must be something in place, because at the moment you get the double. Yeah, people who do the double.
What about when you get some people who do the double and put their arms and take up, not just put the elbows they rest there, they put the arms.
Let's pretend, right? We're watching Schindler's List, okay?
Schindler's List.
Yeah, they're rerunning it.
Well, did Jerry and his missus?
Yeah, well, that's after. Just hang on. All right, so we're watching Schindler's List, and there goes. Lucky we prepare. We're doing Schindler's List. We're watching it, and then you're with someone and I'm with someone. We've happened to be sitting next to each other. So we've sat down at the same time. What would you do? You do that, and then I'd do that.
No, I wouldn't see. I go like that.
You do the shoulder?
No, I put my back to you and I lean the other way. If I got someone on that side.
So you're not using that one?
Yeah, but the other day on the plane, a young bloke just sat next to me. He was in B in the middle. He was in the squeeze box.
Yeah.
Just put both arms right along, and he put his foot kind of, because where the thing.
Yeah. Because I mean,
anyway,
by definition,
I bit my lip for the first 10 minutes, and I just said,
10 seconds.
and I said, champion. I said, time to move your leg.
Yeah.
I said, time to move your arm a bit further.
By definition, I'm going to solve this. If you're in a chair, right? Okay, that line there, your legs have got to fall between that.
100%.
Right, and I'm going to say from this point forward that the left belongs to you, and if you want to get into the right, you're starting something you want to be able to finish.
Okay, so we're going to start. That's going to be the etiquette now from going forward. So like a bread and butter plate.
Yes, left, right.
So yours is on the left.
You just, mate, no matter what happens, the left's yours.
So what happens if you're on the left window? So you don't get it?
No, there's one there. They still have an arm side next to the window, and you got the window to let rest your head. I mean, that's just...
I don't think you got an armrest on the left, have you?
Yeah, there's one there.
Is there?
Yes. What do you think they do? Just bring an armless chair?
I don't know. What I'm usually in...
You're not a very practical bloke.
What I'm usually at the front of the plane is...
You been there recently?
No. Last topic, of course, we finish every episode of 5 Topics of Life. You can check me out on social media. We're both only on Twitter.
Yeah.
At Richie Please, PLZ, and at Sparty Talkback. Seinfeld. What character of Seinfeld would you employ and why?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Lloyd Braun. Lloyd L. Braun. I would employ him.
He's got a few problems.
He's got a few problems, and that's why I'd employ him, because if you remember the famous episode where...
Selling the computers.
Ding,
ding.
He was absolutely convinced.
His phone was connected.
His phone was connected. He was killing George in the sales of the computers, and he believed. And if you've got someone who believes, you could shape believers. I reckon you could shape Lloyd Braun to be the CEO of whatever company you're selling. You could shape him. So I'm going to go Lloyd Braun.
He's the person you'd employ.
As the person I'd employ, but he'd probably, in time, take my job.
Well, I'll tell you who I'd employ. And because I like this bloke, he sounds like a good bloke. He looks after people if he can with his occupation.
Oh, yeah.
And he helps. You don't know who yet is?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, who?
I reckon it's Jeffrey.
Cousin Jeffrey.
Cousin Jeffrey.
Who works for the parks. And you know, he got Jerry to the tickets. He always seemed to want to help everyone, and he's just a terrific fella, Cousin Jeffrey.
Yeah.
So I'd employ Cousin Jeffrey.
What business?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I think Jeffrey's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
He'd work for my boys on the turf. I think he'd be very good in the parks.
Yeah, okay, and that's fantastic. And while we're talking about turf, that leads me in. As you know, we've had a few nibbles from sponsors, and Harry Hofson, who's a local greenkeeper around here, has decided to come on board, and he has his logo is "I'll cut your grass." So I don't know what that means, because he likes to work on the weekends.
Mate, if we get any turf people, it'll be Dad and Dave's or Evergreen, brother. That's
never heard of
I'm exclusive.
That was a movie.
I'm exclusive to those two, and of course to the team at Allied Express, who are wonderful people. If you're looking for a Kira, they're the best in the world.
None better.
To Michelle and Colin and all the team and Dean. Right, there's episode 1 done, 2018.
Yep.
We talked about, of course, Barnby Joyce and Vicky Campen and the baby and the media. We talked about From Russia with Love. Beautiful. We talked about line talkers. We talked about, of course, armchair hoggers. Seinfeld.
Yep.
Sparty and Richie.
We'll see you
5
next week.
Topics of Life. See you next week.
Thank you.